What's up, everybody? This is Aztec 101 in the ring. And, apparently Adrian Broner is going to fight Marcos Maidana once again. They're going to have a rematch. Adrian Broner is going to exercise a rematch clause that's in the contract to get another title fight with Marcos Maidana, try to get his belt back. Personally, I saw what I needed to see in the first fight. It was complete domination. There was no light at the end of the tunnel. It was just completely over from round 1 to round 12 for Adrian Broner. This was complete domination to the point where I didn't want to see another fight. To be honest, after the second knockdown, for Broner's sake, I wanted the fight to be over. But he got back up, and then he continued on for the next the next, what was it, four rounds, the next 5 rounds. I mean, he did okay. He did okay as far as staying in the fight, but and he did have some moments. But usually these moments came when Marcos Maidana was tired, and that's really not the best sign in a fight where the only reason why you're having any success at all is because your opponent's just too tired of hitting you. He's been hitting you all night. He's been hitting you so much that he's tired. He's out of breath. He needs to take a break. So sometimes when Marcos Maidana would, lay off of Broner was able to land some clean punches, but it just wasn't enough. And, like I said, it was complete domination. If the rematch is in the contract and there's a clause in the contract, I guess you have to respect it. So I'm not going to throw a fit about it. It is what it is. They're going to fight. Was it an exciting fight? Yeah, absolutely, it was an exciting fight. I didn't expect that to happen. A lot of people are saying that, before there were actually a few people saying that Adrian Broner was just a hype job, and I didn't believe it. I thought, he looked like he had a lot of talent, and the way that he looked great, before Paulie. Then he moved, once he moved up to 147 and he starts fighting people his size, he looks, a little bit iffy. The Paulie fight, I thought, okay, this was his first time coming in, to 147, his first fight. He still won that fight. I still think that even though, some people could say it was a close fight, Broner still won that fight. Anyways, I thought, okay, so Broner won that fight. This next fight, he's going to be much more comfortable in that weight. He would have already had one professional fight before at 147. In this one, there has to be some form of improvement. Come to find out, he's fighting Marcos Maidana. And Marcos Maidana is a come-forward fighter. He won't catch angles, but obviously, those looping left hands that he was throwing in the Broner fight, they still find their target. But anyways, this is before they fought. I was just thinking, Marcos Maidana is going to come forward. Adrian Broner's just going to, very simple, pick him apart and just keep stepping away. And I just thought it was just going to be something that from what I saw from Broner before and the way people talked about him and the way I also viewed him, there was just a lot of influence from everything. I'm going to admit, I got sucked into the hype job too. And so I convinced myself that, and you can see this in the if you go back to watch my prediction video for the first fight, somehow I convinced myself that Marcos Maidana wasn't going to be able to catch Broner, which I was absolutely wrong. But anyways, it all the signs, everything that I saw in all the previous fights, they were just swayed by the hand speed, by the his knockouts, just the way how easily he's able to because he can move around his opponents. There's a reason why he's able to toy with them in the ring. But then you see the talent. It's he has talent, but because of that talent, the talent is so strong, and the hype was just, he did a really good job of hyping himself up too. It just came to the point where you overlook obvious flaws in Adrian Broner's game. And then came the night he fights Marcos Maidana, and Marcos Maidana just showed us all of his flaws. I mean, Paulie Malignaggi exposed him a little bit, but he just doesn't have the power. He didn't have the size. He didn't have the power to really impact Broner the way, obviously, Marcos Maidana did. So during that fight, I was cheering for Broner. And I'm going through this again. I'm kind of reliving the past fight a little bit in this video because I didn't make a post-fight video. It was during the holidays, and also this wasn't a topic I really wanted to get into. Everybody was already talking about it. I didn't want to beat a dead horse, and I had nothing nice to say about Broner at the end of the fight anyways. Which I'll get to that in a little bit. But so I figured, you know what, there's no point in fucking just kicking a man while he's down. So I'm just going to watch all the other fucking videos of everybody else saying the shit I'm thinking. So I'm just reliving the last fight. And when Adrian Broner stepped into the ring, I was rooting for him. And I thought, okay, he looks confident. Marcos Maidana, I knew he was going to go in there. And then Marcos Maidana, starts going for a couple jabs to the body. I'm thinking no problem. And then he kind of loops one around and catches Broner with that left hook, right? And immediately, I'm like, oh, shit, okay. He got him once. You know the game plan, obviously. It was just obvious, immediately. And then I started noticing, I'm thinking Broner's got to continue to move, or he's got to duck under that left hook. And when Maidana, he did miss. He missed a lot. But a lot of those opportunities weren't taken advantage of by Broner. Even in round one, Broner didn't make Maidana pay for missing, and that's a huge problem. Why? The thing is that Broner was just a solid target. So when I'm watching this fight, I'm yelling at the screen, and I'm telling him, move, get the fuck out of there. And he's still standing in front of him. And that same looping left hand keeps catching him. Knocks him down. Round two. By then, I'm like, that's what you get. That's what the fuck you get. You fucking, what the fuck? And by then, I was mad. By then, I was upset. Because I'm like, these punches were coming from nowhere. They were looping kind of left hooks that look like jabs going to the body, but when they come up and come around, it lands perfectly right on the chin. And Adrian Broner, he would move back but not throw any punches. He wasn't fighting as he's moving back. And then that clicked. Oh my God, Adrian Broner doesn't know, one, how to adjust, and two, either he doesn't know how to adjust or he's too stubborn to adjust. Regardless, he doesn't adjust in the ring. And he's like one of those people that is like, oh, if it doesn't work, he tries it again. And if it doesn't work, he tries it again. He'll try it. He'll keep trying it until it works. But he doesn't try something else or stop doing it, whatsoever. So he kept staying in front of Marcos Maidana. And, in the middle rounds, there were some times where Broner was able to capitalize on Maidana being tired. But still, I was yelling still at the ring at the screen because I was still noticing that Adrian Broner would just stand there. He would just stand there. He wouldn't get in and out. He would commit, and he would throw his 3-4 punch combination, and it would look great. And then Marcos Maidana would land a clean body shot that just completely stops Adrian Broner. And just kept noticing that round after round. Then the second knockdown happened. He gets back up. Now I'm rooting for him again. Because I'm like, holy shit. That knockdown wasn't caused by just one punch. It was like a 3-punch combination that knocked him down. And his legs looked shaky and he got back up. And I'm thinking, okay, this guy's got heart. He holds up, he ties up. Then that whole incident happens with the headbutt. And I kind of lost respect a little bit. This isn't soccer. You see that in soccer a lot, and even in soccer you can boo that because that shit is bullshit. Sometimes you see it in basketball. Some people, they play off, fake injuries, and just the reaction and everything. Just it looked pathetic. So in an instant, I went from rooting for him again to being like, "Fuck this dude." I can't wait till Maidana just goes in there. But luckily he got his fucking 10-minute break. And everything happened. And then the sucker punch comes in after the bell. Just to top it off. Right? Oh, no, wait. That didn't top it off. Okay, so it goes to the 12th round. Adrian Broner's hanging in there. The bell rings. He stays to listen to the scorecards, and then he leaves. He leaves. He lasted all 12 rounds, and he left. He just left. In the fight right before that, Jesus Soto Karass got knocked the fuck out, and he stood in front of Keith Thurman right after everything was announced, and he stayed. He stayed as long as he had to stay. He didn't fucking walk out all butthurt and shit. I noticed that the fans were throwing drinks and shit. I noticed that. And, Adrian Broner that night did a lot of things. If people had no reason to hate him before that, he really stirred up a lot of people's emotions. And in boxing, that may be a good thing. There kind of has to be a villain, but there's something that comes with being that villain. So Adrian Broner is gonna have to sometimes deal with the consequences of playing that role. If you don't want to play that role and you don't want to deal with those consequences, you want to be looked at as a hero. You gotta play the part. And he plays the role of the villain, and he plays it well. So sometimes those are the consequences. I didn't, was it necessary? No, but fucking, I can't fucking, what the fuck can everybody do? I mean, those were probably 15 people throwing drinks at him out of a crowd of thousands. So he did get all the boos and everything, but in the end, so many things happened that night. To the point where I didn't just lose, the persona, the everything that was given just through the eye test, him passing the eye test, his crisp punches, all of that, his talent, his pure talent. All of that was overshadowed by his mistakes and his actions in the ring. So, in this fight, when they do it again, what I want to see the most is I want to see his ring etiquette change. I want him to respect his opponent. This will help him win the fight. I mean, it won't. This is not just so people can like him. This could help him win the fight. He needs to take into consideration that the person in front of him actually beat him that night. I remember he did say somewhere in an interview that, Marcos Maidana, he was a good challenger, but he didn't beat me. Well, yeah, he did. He beat you. He beat you the fuck up. And I thought originally that wasn't gonna happen, but it did. Then I heard. Then I'm hearing there's a rematch, and as much as when I was watching the fight and I had the beers in me and I'm watching the headbutt and the head roll, and at that time I wanted him to get fucked up. I don't want. Unless Adrian Broner can really fix what he needs to fix, I don't want to see him get his ass kicked the way he did again. There's no reason. But then again, he's a fighter. I just think he's a great talent. I don't want anything career-ending to happen. You know what I mean? We see it. Shit happens. Fucking, you see Victor Ortiz. Victor Ortiz gets his jaw broken by Josecito Lopez, right? And that's one of the things I notice is Adrian Broner opens his mouth every time he punches. He opens his mouth a lot in the ring. A lot. And that what I mean by opening his mouth, when he takes that breath, when he breathes out, kind of like when you hear the tennis players, and they breathe out when they hit, ha. Ha! When he opens that mouth and there's a fist that's about to land right on your jaw, I mean, the chances of him dislocating or breaking his jaw rise significantly. So I just don't want to see that happen. So when I was seeing the fight, I'm like, fuck, this guy's jaw is going to get broken. When he left the ring, initially, I thought his jaw was broken. Initially. But the only reason why I give him shit for leaving the ring is because after the fucking fight, he fucking goes on there and he goes on in an interview and says, "Oh, no, I'm good. I'm good. No, I'm just going to party like I won this fight." Well, motherfucker, you should have stayed in the ring like you won this fight. You should have done an interview just like you won this fight. So all that bullshit about you thinking you had your jaw broken is bullshit. Because all of a sudden you're good. You're fine. Fuck you. That's the shit that pissed me off afterwards, though. This is all after the fact. So now in this fight, even though I'm mad at Broner about all that shit, I want to see his ring etiquette change in this fight. Don't play around. And don't be worried about playing the role. Just fucking fight. So if there's, and to me, in my opinion, I think that there's too many flaws and mistakes that he needs to fix. And I don't think that it's possible to fix all of these mistakes in one training camp. So a lot of people's expectations shouldn't be too high for Adrian Broner. He's going to have to work on one thing and fix that, and then make sure that is the thing that's going to help him win this fight, and then start working on all the rest of everything else to make the complete package. But as of right now, they need to start getting him to move, and they need to play Maidana videos and actually watch Maidana videos and see how he fights. Maidana really didn't do anything different, even though he did have attack. There was a plan of attack. It was obviously to land heavy punches and just try to go around his shoulder roll. Since he just stands there in front of you and puts his shoulder in your face, and he doesn't move no matter how many punches you throw at him, one of those punches are, they're going to land. And that's the thing. He never got out of the way. So another thing that he needs to work on is obviously footwork. Using the ring. Can he use the ring? Does he have the ability? Like, the thing is that when I mean footwork, like, obviously he can move. Like, he's got footwork. He can move. But he just doesn't feel the need to. And that's all him not respecting his opponent or him being stubborn. I don't know what it is. I just want to see all that shit change. Because he's going to get an ass whooping again. Here's the thing. I got Marcos Maidana winning this fight. It's really difficult for me, after seeing the last fight, to say that Adrian Broner can fix all these mistakes in one training camp and that Adrian Broner is going to win. Just from the last fight. I'm sorry. I got Marcos Maidana winning. It's not... This is just all from the last fight. That's all I can base it on. And if you want, I can even base it on Paulie Malignaggi and Adrian Broner. But these are the only two fights that really at 147 that I can, judge Adrian Broner on. And from what I see, I don't think he has fixed the mistakes he needed to fix from Paulie. I don't think he'll be able to do it now. There's all the other stuff in between. Obviously, he doesn't respect his corner. This doesn't, again, he's just a very, very, very talented guy that just he's hard. Maybe he's hard to coach, or maybe I don't know what it is. But there were obvious adjustments, things that I thought he was able to do. Things that I thought the only reason why he would stand in front of his fighters was because there was no reason to move. No one was really hitting him flush. And when he did get hit, he would take the punches. So I thought, once he's in front of someone where he needs to move, he's going to move. But no, he didn't. He fought the same way. So why is he going to change? What makes you think he can change his entire style in one training camp? That shit's... I don't know. Man. If he does, then that's great. But I don't see how Adrian... For those of you who think that Adrian Broner is going to win, please leave a comment. Let me know how will Adrian Broner win. But this is Aztec 101. And I believe that Marcos Maidana, just based on the last fight, will win this fight. You guys let me know, though. Who will win in this rematch? Adrian Broner. And if you guys are going for Adrian Broner and you guys are saying Adrian Broner will be able to fix all the mistakes he made in the Paulie fight and in the Marcos Maidana fight, then absolutely, please let me know. What will it take for him to win this fight? And for those of you who believe Marcos Maidana will win, let me know. Will it end up the same way? Will the fight end sooner? This is Aztec 101 in the ring, and I'm out.